My name is Mark Krogel. I'm a research specialist at the University of Arizona in the School of Plant Sciences in the Controlled Environment Agriculture program. In this video, we're going to show you how to graft tomatoes and cucurbits. Vegetable grafting is a means to provide a rootstock that has disease and pest resistance to support a scion that is going to produce the fruits and vegetables that you desire. So now we're going to show you the materials and the tools that we'll need to actually do the grafting. These are the tomato plants. These are a commercial rootstock, and this is a commercial scion. Preparation of the plants is very critical. You want plants to be of the same size and stage, and the target developmental stage of the plant is the second true leaf of the plant, and you want a stem diameter of about 1.5 millimeters. The method that we're going to use to graft tomato is called a tube grafting method, and we're going to use these silicone tubes that are going to hold the plant together once it's grafted. We have two sizes of tubes here, and it's good to have more than one size so that you can accommodate the stem size of the plants that you're grafting. We need something to cut with. I like to use a scalpel. The handle makes it much easier to manipulate, although you can use just a standard razor blade available at any hardware store. I'm going to need something to sterilize the cutting tools in between grafts, and that's a 70% ethanol solution, and for my scalpel I can just have a nice tube there to put it in. You'll need mist bottles. This mist bottle has 70% ethanol to sterilize things like the razor blade or other surfaces. You'll need to mark your bottle, obviously, so that you can know that it's your ethanol, not water. You'll need water in a mist bottle because this is very critical to continuously mist the plants after they're grafted to prevent them from wilting. We've selected two plants from the trays. We have the rootstock and the scion. The plants were selected to have the same size diameter stem. I need something to elevate the stem while I'm cutting so that I can cut on a level surface. And I'm going to cut on a paper towel, which provides a nice clean surface. And also the paper towel has a 45-degree pattern on it so I can make my cuts the same each time. I'm going to cut the rootstock with the scalpel. I need to dry off the ethanol. I'm going to cut it right below the cotyledons, again at a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to leave as much of the hypocotyl as I possibly can. I'm cutting below the cotyledons because I want to exclude the cotyledonary buds, which would break and grow and produce rootstock shoots, which we don't want. So we'll make the cut. I'm going to put a grafting clip onto the rootstock stem, and I'm going to orient it so that I can see the angle of the cut through the opening in the grafting clip. Then I'm going to cut the scion. I'm going to cut it below the cotyledons. I'm going to leave about 1 centimeter of stem to give me something to put into the grafting tube. So now I'm going to put the scion and the rootstock together. So I just simply slip the scion stem into the grafting clip and line up the cuts so that they match entirely. And then we'll put it into the tray to hold it. And then we'll mist it with water to make sure that all the leaf surface is wet. Remember, you need to continuously mist the plants you've grafted to keep them from water stress. Once you have a tray full of grafted plant material, whether it's tomato or anything that you're grafting, you need to get it into the healing chamber immediately. A healing chamber can be anything that allows you to maintain the relative humidity at 100% and allow light transmission through the cover. We like to use these large plastic boxes with lids that the whole tray fits inside of, and then the lid can cover tightly. So I'm going to put the tray of plant material into the box, and you want to put it in without any trays underneath it because it needs to be in contact with the water that I'm going to add. And I'm going to add about a ½ inch of water to the bottom of the tray. This is going to keep the root zone wet and also provide the water for the humidity in the tray. So now that I have the water in, I'm going to put on the lid. This is a fairly tight fitting lid, so it's really all I need. But if the lid for your container or device is not so tight, you can add plastic or duct tape or something to make a tight seal around the edge of your container, because that's important to maintain that 100% humidity. From here, we'll take this healing chamber over to a temperature control chamber where we'll maintain the ambient temperature of that chamber so that the temperature inside this box is kept at 84 degrees Fahrenheit. So now we're in the temperature controlled chamber with our healing chamber. And I want to remind you it's important to keep the inside of your box at 84 degrees Fahrenheit. That means that your ambient temperature has to be lower than that. Now you can measure the inside temperature of your box with a simple thermocouple type thermometer. But if you don't have that, there's a pretty good rule of thumb that if you maintain your ambient temperature at 3 to 4 degrees lower than 84 degrees, you'll be okay. The first 24 hours of your healing process needs to be in complete darkness. This is to prevent transpiration of the scion, which is not yet healed and connected with the rootstock. So again, the first 24 hours needs to be in complete darkness. After that, you need to apply about 100 micromoles of light. Now, if you don't have a quantimeter, which is what you measure micromoles with, you can use a 2-fixture, 40-watt, 4-foot long fluorescent lamp. That provides about that much light. And the healing process takes about 7 days. And at about day 5, you want to start opening up your box by removing any sealing tape or just loosening the lid so that it's loose but still in place. And then on the next day, you want to start sliding that lid over, leaving just a small amount of space, say a ½ inch opening on the box so that air can start moving in and out of the box. And on day 7, you want to potentially just remove the lid entirely before you move it to your greenhouse situation. If you observe any wilting during that hardening off process when you're starting to remove the lid, go ahead and slide that lid back for another day and allow the plant to catch up with that hardening off process. When plants are done healing, we move them to the greenhouse in the evening so that they have that chance to acclimate to the greenhouse conditions overnight. So these healing conditions that we've just described for tomato, that is requiring 100% humidity inside your healing vessel, that you need 84 degrees Fahrenheit inside your healing vessel, that the first 24 hours in the healing chamber are in total darkness, and then after that you need about 100 micromoles of light. These conditions all apply to other fruits and vegetables that you might be grafting.